Ilja Dragunov shocks SmackDown with title win. Ilja Dragunov just returned from a year-long injury and immediately won the United States Championship in his first match back. Let me say that again for the people in the back who think they misheard me. Ilja Dragunov, who's been out for an entire year with a blown knee, came back on SmackDown, answered Sami Zayn's open challenge, and walked out as the new United States champion. No warm-up matches. No rebuilding momentum. Just straight back to championship gold in one of the most shocking returns in recent WWE memory. Welcome back to the Wrestling Hidden Insight, and today we're breaking down how Dragunov pulled off this incredible comeback, what it means for Sami Zayn's reign, why this might be the best surprise WWE has delivered all year, and how SmackDown just got infinitely more interesting with the Mad Dragon holding gold again. Let's start with the setup because context makes this moment even better. Sami Zayn has been United States champion for a while now, and he's been a fighting champion in the truest sense. He's defended that title against quality opponents, he's elevated the championship, and he's made it feel important again after years of the US title being treated like an afterthought. So when Sami showed up on SmackDown this week ready to issue another open challenge, it felt like business as usual. Sami comes out, cuts a promo about being a fighting champion, challenges anyone in the back to step up, and then we get a match. Standard formula that WWE has used successfully for years with various champions. But here's where it gets interesting. Sami Zayn wasn't even scheduled to be on the show. He wasn't advertised. He wasn't part of the announced card. But Sami being Sami, the perpetual underdog who fights for every opportunity, he marched his way to the ring anyway and demanded an opponent. That's classic Sami. That's the character we've loved for years. He doesn't wait for permission. He doesn't ask for opportunities. He creates them himself. So there's Sami in the ring, championship on his shoulder, microphone in his hand, telling everyone that he's ready to defend his title right now against whoever has the guts to answer. And then we got a fake out. The Miz's music hit, and for a split second everyone thought okay, Miz versus Sami for the US title, that could be a solid match. But before Miz could even get halfway down the ramp, Carmelo Hayes attacked him from behind. Hayes has been feuding with Miz, and he saw this as the perfect opportunity to get some revenge. So Miz goes down, Hayes stands over him looking satisfied, and everyone's wondering okay, so who's actually going to answer Sami's challenge? And that's when the arena went dark. That's when unfamiliar music started playing. That's when a figure emerged from the entrance that nobody expected to see. Ilja Dragunov. The Mad Dragon. The man who's been out of action for an entire year with a blown right knee. The man who many fans probably forgot was even still with WWE because he's been gone so long. Ilja Dragunov walked out and the collective reaction from the wrestling world was wait, he's back? And he's going straight for the US title? In his first match back after a year? That's either incredibly bold or incredibly stupid, and we're about to find out which one. Now let's talk about Ilja Dragunov for those who might not be familiar with his work or haven't seen him since his injury. This man is not your average wrestler. Ilja Dragunov wrestles like every match is his last match. He throws himself into everything with a reckless abandon that's simultaneously terrifying and beautiful to watch. He doesn't hold anything back. He doesn't pace himself. He doesn't play it safe. He wrestles with an intensity that makes you wonder if he's okay, if he's going to survive this match, if he's physically capable of doing what he's doing. And somehow he always delivers. His matches in NXT UK and later in NXT were the stuff of legend. His battles with Walter, his championship reigns, his entire body of work is built on the idea that wrestling should hurt, should be visceral, should make you uncomfortable in the best possible way. So bringing that style back after a year-long knee injury is risky. Most wrestlers would come back slowly, work a few house shows, ease into things, make sure the knee can handle the stress before going full throttle. But Ilja Dragunov doesn't do slow. He doesn't do cautious. He came back on SmackDown and immediately went to war with Sami Zayn in a match that had no business being as good as it was given that Dragunov literally just returned from a year off. The match itself was everything you'd hope for from these two. Sami Zayn is one of the best in-ring workers in WWE. He can work with anyone and make them look incredible. And Ilja Dragunov, ring rust be damned, looked like he never left. The commentators described him as a house on fire, and that's the perfect way to put it. Dragunov was relentless. He was aggressive. He was the same Mad Dragon who left a year ago, maybe even more intense because he had a year's worth of frustration to unleash. He took Sami to the limit, and for the first time in a while, Sami Zayn looked genuinely concerned that he might lose his championship. The finish of the match is where everything came together in the most WWE way possible. Sami hit Dragunov with an exploder suplex in the corner, setting up for what should have been the finishing sequence to retain his title. Sami was in control. He was seconds away from putting Dragunov away and sending him back to the drawing board. And then Solo Sikoa showed up. Solo, the leader of the new iteration of MFT, the Samoan bad boy who's been causing chaos on SmackDown, appeared at ringside and distracted Sami Zayn. Just long enough for Sami to lose focus. Just long enough for Dragunov to recover and capitalize. And capitalize he did. Ilja hit the Torpedo Moscow, his devastating running headbutt that looks like it should kill both people involved. Then he followed it up with the H-bomb, his signature move, and got the 1-2-3. New United States champion. Ilja Dragunov, in his first match back after a year-long injury, is now holding gold on SmackDown. That's not how returns usually work. That's not the typical comeback story where you work your way back up the card over several months. This is WWE saying we believe in Ilja Dragunov so much that we're putting a championship on him immediately, and we're trusting him to carry that championship and make it mean something. But the story didn't end with the pinfall. Wrestling is never that simple. After the match, Sami Zayn, despite having just lost his championship, was about to show respect to Dragunov. He was going to shake his hand, acknowledge that the better man won, and move on with grace. That's who Sami is. He's not a sore loser. He's a professional who respects the business and respects his opponents. But before that moment of sportsmanship could happen, MFT hit the ring. Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, they stormed the ring and absolutely obliterated both Sami and Dragunov. These two men had just gone through a war with each other, and now they're getting destroyed by a faction that wanted to make a statement. Rey Fenix, trying to even the odds, ran down to help. And he got handed a beating too. MFT wasn't there to have a fair fight. They were there to dominate. They were there to send a message. And Solo Sikoa got on the microphone and told everyone, I told you so. We're taking over SmackDown again. This is our show.